Thank you for joining us today, everyone. It's Andrew from MAO Magic, and we're going to take a look at the Smart Drop Scale. This is a connected device for your kitchen that allows you to use your iPhone or your iPad to help you make delicious recipes. Compared to many other smart scales out there, it makes things just dead simple to use. If we open up the box itself, it's pretty self-explanatory, pretty simple. You just get the scale itself. That's really all you need. And the first thing you may be noticing is there's no display, which is something we're definitely going to come back to. On the top of the scale is this little plastic thing here. This is just kind of to keep your scale clean. So if you have something that could be messy or could roll off, you can place this on top. Otherwise, you can work directly on the kind of silicone surface of the scale itself. On the front, there's just a little kind of depression here, which is actually the button that you can use to activate the scale and do other things as you're making the recipe. On the bottom, there is a little pull tab. It just runs on some batteries that you can easily replace whenever they die. Just kind of sell battery here. So to get started, just pull that out and download the app on the App Store. Don't worry, especially after you spend this much on the scale itself, the app to go along with it is absolutely free. Once you have the app installed, you do need to grant a few different permissions to the app itself. The first one up is going to be asking you if it can send you notifications, which obviously you need to do because it's going to be asking for permission to do stuff like send you an alert when the alarm goes off. Once you have your scale paired and connected with your iPhone or iPad, you're really good to go. You can pretty much just grab a recipe and get started. Obviously, you can see I'm looking at just the scale screen, just the plain using it as a normal scale. The more I press on it, the higher the weight goes up. So that's kind of just the basic usage of a scale itself. So let's move on to something fun and make a recipe with the drop scale. To try it out, we are going to make this Swedish blueberry tart. It gives us a rundown of everything we're going to need, the time it's going to take, how hard it is, all of our ingredients. Really super easy, clean interface. I absolutely love how this works. So very cool here. First, we're just going to start our recipe, and it's going to have us line a pan, which is pretty self-explanatory on how to do. I have a round cake pan type thing here for cheesecakes and stuff. Going to go ahead and fold that up, cut into a little triangle, and unfold it around the pan itself. So now one thing I'll note right off the bat, this is absolutely fantastic for more beginning chefs, and I'm sure pro chefs can find use for it too. But when I was using this, I was like, okay, I know how to do some of these things. I wish I had a little bit more freedom. I wish I could actually see some weights on the scale, like there's no screen or anything, which makes it a little disappointing because you have to have your connected device. But some things are just straight up cool. So obviously just place your bowl. As soon as your bowl is placed, it will weigh it. It knows it's there and check it off. You can see as I'm adding the flour, it goes up on the screen, telling me how much I've added. I don't have to measure. I can just keep adding flour until it gets to this line. Once it gets to that line and holds for a few seconds, it'll mark it off the list and say done. Move on to the next ingredient. Same thing with the butter. As I add the butter in, slightly blurry in the background, you can see the line just starts to go up as that butter gets added to the bowl. So as you add your ingredients, it just moves it up. Once you have the proper weight, you're good to go. And weights are definitely more accurate than using a measuring cup. For things like flour, it could be compacted and you could be adding more flour than you actually mean to. So technically the recipes should be more accurate by using measurements instead of actually measuring it with a cup. Another really cool feature, as we're just making this tart in the background, is the ability to actually scale up recipes. So if I had, maybe more blueberries or more ground beef or meatballs than the recipe would call for, I can actually tap on that ingredient, tell it how much I have, and it can proportionally scale everything up. So if you're making something that, maybe doesn't make as much sense for a tart, but if I'm making something else like meatballs, I can easily scale that up based on the ingredients that I have. So very cool way to scale ingredients or scale recipes as you're making them based on what you have in your fridge or pantry. Now, while you don't have the ability to kind of do things more manually because you're kind of following this rigid recipe, following straight through the app, and there's very little room for error, it does make it a little bit more, I should take that back. It makes it a lot faster because I can pour things straight from the bag. I can pour flour in straight from the bag, sugar from the bag, and it'll just tell me when I'm done. So I don't have to get out a bunch of measuring cups and clean a bunch of things. It can definitely make making stuff quite a bit quicker. So as I go ahead and throw my tart here in the oven, what do I think about the drop connected scale? It's really cool. They have a huge library of different recipes that you can pull from. It makes it dead simple to go through that recipe. Pros might feel a little bit disadvantaged because they can't see anything on the screen. If you do want to use it for other things other than the smart recipes, it could be a little bit laborious to turn it on, connect it to your iPad, pull up the scale page, and then just weigh something. But if you're following through the recipe guides here, it's great, and the recipes taste delicious. I absolutely loved this blueberry tart that we made. If you have someone who wants to bake, or maybe some kids, this is a perfect gift. You can find a link below in the description. Please subscribe. Till next time, it's Andrew for MAO Magic.